I think it's safe to say we all know who Grievous was, the Kaleesh cybernetic general of the Confederacy of Independent Systems. He played a major role during the Clone Wars until he was killed by Obi-Wan Kenobi. But what kind of legacy did he leave behind? What happened to him, or the technology that created him after his death? We'll be exploring that today in both canon and legends. Starting in canon with the Darth Vader comics, we have to talk about Commander Carbon. About 20 years after Grievous's death, a similar cybernetic being was created by an Imperial scientist named Silo. His goal was to prove that the Force was obsolete in the face of technology, and he enhanced a number of beings that were meant to replace Darth Vader as the Emperor's apprentice. Commander Carbon was a cybernetic Mon Calamari who was nearly killed in the Clone Wars. He lived on life support for 18 years and then spent 2 more being upgraded to have a body that was very clearly inspired by the general he once fought against. Carbon was ordered to track down the pilot that destroyed the Death Star, and since Darth Vader was hoping to turn Luke to the dark side, he wanted Carbon to fail. So eventually the two crossed lightsabers, and of course Vader came out victorious. It's interesting to note that Vader's suit was at least partially designed by Silo, the same man that created Carbon. Silo worked with a company that was supported by the Separatists during the Clone Wars, and I'm speculating now, but it's possible that he had a hand in Grievous's cybernetics as well. And finally, before we move on from the General's canon legacy, in the book Aftermath, Tim and Wexley implied that he used some of Grievous's programming when he designed his murderous robotic bodyguard, Mr. Bones. Hopping back to Star Wars Legends, let's start with Star Wars Galaxies and NK Necrosis. NK was a combat droid created from the body of General Grievous by yet another cybernetic scientist, Nikolai Kinesworthy. All of the dead organic parts were replaced by droid components, and it was trained to fight with a double-bladed lightsaber powered by the lightsaber crystal once used by Darth Bane's apprentice, Darth Zana. All those details seem kind of unnecessarily over the top, but anyway, in the game it's possible for the player to inadvertently activate Necrosis, battle, and destroy it. It's kind of funny that in both canon and legends, a cybernetic expert repurposed the technology that was responsible for Grievous at about the same point in the timeline, but after the droid's destruction, its mask made its way into the hands of Grand Admiral Thrawn. By the time of the Yuuzhan Vong War, the Kaleesh celebrated Grievous as a god with a temple built in his honor. Finally, although I don't recall if it's ever specifically stated, the Terror Troopers and Terror Biodroids seen in The Force Unleashed 2 are almost certainly inspired by the design of Grievous. And that's everything we know about Grievous's legacy after the Clone Wars, at least so far. It's very possible we'll continue to learn more about the General in the new canon. If we do, what do you hope to see? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.